What's up guys, Tony here. Today I'm going to discuss E3 2019 through the eyes of a retro video game collector. I'm going to share my top 5 things that I'm most excited about after E3 2019. So let's get right into it, and thank you for watching. Okay guys, let's get right into it. So first of all, I'm not going to be talking about huge big titles like Cyberpunk 2077, even though I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be talking about games that are related to like retro video game fans, retro video game collectors, and there's actually a lot to talk about and to be excited about. So coming in at number 5 on my list, arcade 1-up arcade machines. And there's one in particular that I'm really excited about and might have to get. So first off, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle machine. It's the first arcade game in Turtles in Time. I absolutely love Turtles in Time. It's my favorite beat 'em up of all time. And the cool thing is the cabinet, it has 4-player controls on it. And also it has all the decals and everything that you will love if you are a Turtles fan. So that's super exciting. Also, they revealed a Star Wars quote-unquote trilogy arcade cabinet, and it's actually the old school arcade games from the 70s and 80s. And yeah, some fans are disappointed because they thought it was going to be the newer trilogy arcade game, which I actually really like and love, and I want a release of that some way, somehow. But it's the old school vector graphics arcade games. And the cool thing is it has the original control handle stick for the controls for controlling your X-Wing or Millennium Falcon. And it looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to get that one or not. But yes, there's a lot of nostalgia here, and they're actually killing it. They're killing it. On top of that, they also released some information on their cocktails. And I'm a huge fan of these cocktail machines, and I really want one. And this might be a cheap, affordable way for me to get my hands on one. So that's number 5, arcade 1-up. Coming in at number 4 on my list, limited run games. Huge news. They're going to re-release a bunch of old Star Wars games and LucasArts games. I'm super stoked. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I do like some of these LucasArts games, I'm not going to lie. So starting out June 28th, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the PlayStation 2 Classic, will be released on PlayStation 4. And these are going to be all physical and all collector's editions. Also, Star Wars, the NES and Game Boy game, they will be released on the 28th as well. They have not announced how they're releasing that. Hopefully there will be a Switch release. Hopefully there will be a PlayStation 4 release. I would be really excited about that. On top of this, Pod Racer and Shadows of the Empire 2 N64 classics are getting a re-release. And the curious thing that they have talked about is that there's going to be a Nintendo 64 release. So does that mean there's going to be a collector's edition? If so, what's included? I really want to know. I'm very curious about those two in particular. On top of all that, you're going to get some re-releases of some LucasArts classics. Curse of the Monkey Island, Monkey Island 2, Secret of Monkey Island, Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition, Star Wars Dark Forces, a shooter, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Knight Outcast, Academy, and then 2 classics, TIE Fighter and X-Wing. So I'm really stoked about this. And I don't know how many of these I will get. I will definitely get the 2 N64 games. And it depends on price. It depends on what's included, because I already own those games. So we'll see. Coming in at number 3 on my list. This is a big hitter. This is a big announcement. The TurboGrafx Mini. The TurboGrafx 16 Mini. Oh man, there are so many of these mini consoles, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, the Sega Genesis Mini's coming out, but man, I'm stoked about this. And I kind of called it too. I talked about a bunch of mini systems and the potential of having some of these old school 16-bit consoles get re-released in mini form. So the games that will be included, this is the American set. I'll talk about the Japanese set here in a second. R-Type, Ys Book 1 and 2, New Adventure Island, Ninja Spirit, Alien Crush, and Dungeon Explorer. Now these are the only games that they have announced. I am predicting anywhere from 20 to 25 games on this list, and I will do a video on what games I would like to have on the TurboGrafx 16. I did not grow up with a TurboGrafx 16, but I have grown to appreciate it and love it, and it is a great, underrated, underappreciated system. Now the cool thing is, before I get to the PC Engine Mini, there's 2 USB ports, and it's going to support 5-way multiplayer. So you're going to get the authentic TurboGrafx 16 experience. That's really, really cool. Really, really neat. That's a good touch. Now let's talk about the PC Engine Mini. Now this is a little different because there's actually some TurboGrafx CD games on here. So that could be a possibility for the TurboGrafx 16 in the United States, in North America. So the games included Dracula X Rondo Blood, Bonk's Adventure, Kung Fu / China Warrior, Ys 1 and 2, Superstar Soldier, and then Dungeon Explorers, which we got too. Now, I am pretty excited about this. I'm going to do another review. I'm going to review every single game on the system. I'm going to do another giveaway. Jeez Louise. And yeah, I will go do a release launch video where I go track one down, go at midnight, look for one. And the key thing that I'm worried about is what games are included and the price. Are you going to get 2 controllers? What's the price? Now Konami, they're the ones that they're going to spearhead this. So I think that there's going to be some really, really good titles on this mini set. So we'll see. More news to come from my channel on this. I know I gotta get my teeth into the Sega Genesis Mini, but man, oh man, another console for me to cover. Coming in at number 2 on my list, this is a catch-all, so I'm kind of cheating a little bit. Square Enix, their presentation was amazing. They killed it. They absolutely just stunned the crowd. They stunned the fans worldwide, me being one of them. And yeah, I'll talk about my 3 highlights from their presentation that I'm excited about. First of all, Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. I have been talking about Final Fantasy VIII a lot before this big news broke. And I have been itching to replay it for a very long time. I have always thought negatively of Final Fantasy VIII. I've always looked down on Final Fantasy VIII, but all my friends have loved it. I need to give it a second chance. Yes, I understand I own it. Yes, I understand I can hook up my PlayStation 2 or even my PlayStation 3 and play it right now. But man, if I have a fresh coat of paint on it, maybe I'll have a different opinion. We'll see. So I'm really excited about that. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Do I need to say any more? I was actually really hesitant about this ever since they announced it. And I was like, man, I don't know about this. How can you remake 7? 7's so good. And after watching the footage, after watching the combat system, I am really, really excited. The graphics look phenomenal. And yes, it is going to be episodic. That's the only thing that I'm like, a little leery about. But from what I understand, the whole Midgar part of the game is almost a whole game. So I think that's why they've been holding off for so long, is they're really trying their best to satisfy everybody. And with the combat, one little side note, they're trying to satisfy old school fans by having some turn-based elements in there. And there's a lot of action RPG elements in there too. So I'm looking forward to it, and yeah. The third thing Square Enix brought forth that I was really stoked about was the Mana Collection. And that is actually on the Switch right now. You can download it, and there will be a physical release later in 2019. And yeah, it's really cool. It's Secret of Mana 1, it's the Game Boy game, which was Final Fantasy Legends, and then Trials of Mana, which was, I believe, the third one in the series. Let me know down in the comments below which one Trials of Mana was in the series. I'm not a Mana expert like I am with Final Fantasy or Chrono Trigger, so let me know. So I'm excited about that. Square Enix did a really good job, and Final Fantasy VII is coming out 2020, March 3rd, and I am going to do so much coverage on that, and I'll be talking about Final Fantasy VII. I'll be doing a review on Final Fantasy VII, and yeah. Coming in at number 1 on my list, Nintendo! Another catch-all. They stole the show in my opinion, and yeah, I'm cheating a little bit because these are newer games, Switch games, current gen, I don't care. This is my list, and I love Nintendo. This is like classic retro Nintendo, so there's my argument for that. You can also make an argument that Sony wasn't there, they didn't show up the PlayStation 5 or any new games. And you can also make the argument that Microsoft, they stole the show with the Scarlet, which I'm actually kind of impressed by, with the backwards compatibility more than anything. Basically, Xbox One backwards is good to play, and that's really cool. I hope the PlayStation 5 does that. So let's get into it. This is kind of a mini top 5 things I'm looking forward to after E3 2019 from Nintendo. And again, I think they stole the show. So let's get right into this mini top 5. First off, Smash Brothers. Banjo-Kazooie and the hero from Dragon Warrior Dragon Quest, they were unveiled. They're the next DLC characters, and oh yeah, I love both. Banjo was a surprise, but it makes sense with the recent crossover, the recent agreement between Microsoft and Nintendo. And actually, it would have been cool to have Cuphead, the Cuphead guys, in as DLC characters. That's still pretty cool though. Number 2, Panzer Dragoon. A Panzer Dragoon remake. I love Panzer Dragoon, and this might even open up the gate for Panzer Dragoon Saga, and that would be awesome because I've never played that game, always wanted to play it. Saw it in magazines back in the day, seen videos online. I want to play it. Number 3, Link's Awakening. It's coming out September 20th of this year, 2019, and it looks weird. It looks different. The art style is completely different, but I kind of like it. Also, there's going to be amiibos coming out with that, and just super stoked about it. I will do a review of Link's Awakening, the Game Boy game, and also the DX game as well, because I played those games growing up. I love those games, and yeah, super excited about that. Also, number 4, Resident Evil 5 and 6, they're going to get a full release on the Switch. So it's kind of cool that Resident Evil is being heavily represented on the Switch, and basically you can play every single game. Maybe RE2 remake will come out on the Switch. Don't know. That would be sweet. And the number 1 or number 5 reason why Nintendo killed it, Breath of the Wild 2. Oh man, I am a huge Breath of the Wild fan. And yeah, I know there's a lot of critics out there. People don't like the weapons breaking and all that stuff. But I'm going to tell you, I am super, super stoked about Breath of the Wild 2. I have said all along, they need to make a Breath of the Wild 2, and they also need to make a Mario Odyssey 2. Those games were so good in the first place, they deserve a sequel. They deserve a sequel on the Switch. Not waiting for next gen. Not waiting for the next generation to come out. And I'm going to tell you, if they do come out with a Switch Mini or a Switch Pro, basically Breath of the Wild 2 is going to help sell the Pro system, if that ever comes out. And there's always been rumors about it. So yeah, that's my E3. That's what I always look forward to every year with E3. What's coming out retro video game related? What are games that you're looking forward to? Do you kind of look at it the same lens as I do, as a retro video game fan, as a retro video game collector? And just in general, what are you looking forward to? Okay guys, well thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and share. Have a great rest of your day.